Dominic, wow, that was insane.
Yeah, I don't know about Dom, but it's my first experience winning the derby. First at home. Great atmosphere, great application from the lads, and thoroughly deserved it. It was a massive win. Not for the rivalry. It's in the league as well, and we keep pushing. And hard work pays off.
You matched everything that was thrown your way tonight.
You've got to put the hard yards in. Like Dom, he's grafting up there by himself and gets the rewards with a goal. Team effort, clean sheet again, and we keep building.
Yeah, Dom, it's been such a tough season for you, what with injuries and everything else, but you come back, you've got such a lead. What does it mean for you, being that Everton number 9?
Been asked that question a few times. It's everything, it's what I've worked for, it's where I wanted to be, and it's where I want to be, so I just see it as a great privilege. Pressure is a privilege, and it's my responsibility to carry that, and it's nice when you work hard and, like George says, you get the reward with a goal.
But what does it mean on nights like this?
Well, it's extra special, isn't it? Local derby. I've been here long enough to know what it means to the fans, know what it means to me, and a great result given the circumstances. Where we are in the league, we needed a massive 3 points, and everything kind of came together tonight.
How much did the support help you as well get over the line? Because it was intense out there, the atmosphere, it's still going. Yeah,
it was electric, and I felt it at the end. It's not been like that for a while, it's extra special. And I think to do that on a night like this, it's a great experience and a great memory for everyone, and something that we'll look to kick on from.
And Jordan, on nights like this, when you look at the league table and what you're doing here right now, off the back of that Nottingham Forest win as well, does it ease the pressure a little bit?
No, I think it obviously will, but we can't ease off. We've got to keep pushing, keep working hard, recover and get ready for Saturday, another big game. But you've got to enjoy the night, but you've got to recover well because they come around thick and fast. And delighted, and pushes us way even further up the table now, and keep building.
You must be so close though now. You must be.
I don't know.
He's happier than he looks. He's happier than he looks.
He's tired.
But no, enjoy it, and the mental side of it takes it out of you, and you've got to be in the game against top sides, and great win for the fans and for us and for the club.
2010, the last time a Merseyside derby was won here at Goodison. Mikel Arteta was one of the goal scorers that night. Do you think he'll have a little bit of a jig at this result?
Yeah, well, not anymore, is it? We've won tonight, so Calvert-Lewin was the goal scorer and Jared Branthwaite. So we'll look to kick on from that and put all them records and things like that to bed, and continue to win more derbies.
Yeah, it's your night. You're going to own it, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant stuff. Ace Player of the Match. Dominic, would you like to do the award?
Well done, sir. Congrats, hard work.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
See you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Take care.
You can empathise with that adrenaline rush that they're having at the moment.
Yeah, and it's so long that you get reminded when things have been success in the past, and it's been so long that you've been without it. That'll have been spoken to them and the squad every year. Every year they've gone and back into the injuries. It's 2010 since you last won a Merseyside derby at home. It's 2010. Mikel Arteta was the last person that scored the Merseyside derby winner. So you can see what it meant to them at the end. It's now Jared Branthwaite and it's Dominic Calvert-Lewin that have scored the Merseyside derby winners at Goodison Park. So it's something that they've now put behind them, and you could see what it meant to them. I think I said before the game that there was a number of things that the team could fight for tonight, and one of them was to maybe knock Liverpool out the title race. But it wasn't about that at all tonight for Everton. It was all about Everton getting that first Merseyside derby win for a while, getting themselves further up the table, putting in a performance like that shows that the team can play together, they can defend as a team, they can be a threat at the top end. You wouldn't think this was the team that went to Chelsea only a week ago last Monday and conceded 6. This was a team that looked so far from that. It was crazy. And yes, Liverpool had opportunities and Liverpool had possession in the game. But as Jordan Pickford said at the end, this is a team that looked like they're building towards something. Stayed up last game of the season, last year. Even with the points deduction, there's been progress this season. They're moving up the table. They're moving in the right direction. So I think you can see that building within the squad.
Yeah, I mean, Everton have got 11 clean sheets this season. Only Arsenal can better that.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, they don't look like they can score too many goals. In saying that, they scored a couple today, and that was the difference. So they've got to try to find that balance. But yeah, I mean, they've always looked quite stingy at the back, haven't they? And with Liverpool's, lack of prowess, lack of finishing power up front in recent weeks, not just tonight, then it's resulted in another Everton clean sheet. And if they can continue to get clean sheets at home, they're going to be very, very, difficult in general to beat going forward. In particular, I think home form always, when I played, home form was always, their strength. It was very difficult to go to Goodison Park, and as I say, if they can keep things tight at the back, then they might squeeze a few more places up the league. You never know from now to the end.
OK, that's the Everton player reaction. Let's get some from the Liverpool dressing room. Their captain has lost the Merseyside derby for the first time since he joined the club. He is, of course, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, it's always difficult on nights like this, raw, emotive, but what did you make of that performance? So many mistakes out there from Liverpool tonight.
Yeah, listen, very disappointed in so many ways, and I think everyone has to look in the mirror and look at their own performance. If they really give everything and do they really want to win the league? And obviously we're fighting and we still have games after the night, but if you play like we did overall in the game like today and not winning challenges and giving the ref to an opportunity to give a free kick like he did many times, then you have no chance to win the title. And like I said, it's a tough one, and obviously we have to do much better against a side that's playing against relegation. And now it's time to focus on the 12:30 kickoff again.
You did concede a lot of free kicks, but it just looked like in the end that you just ran out of ideas. Yeah,
I think you try to force things, and I think we give so many crosses where they can just clear it quite easily. And I still think we had in the first half clear-cut chances that we should have scored, but eventually, we weren't good enough. And it started with the fight, and like I said, we all have to do much better, and we can't let the season go out like tonight and the first half against Crystal Palace, especially. That was also very disappointed. And like I said, we have to do much better in every sense. And it's a tough one today.
When you say you have to do much better and you don't want the season to go out the way that it seems to be doing at the moment, what do you put that down to?
I wish I had a proper answer for that, but we're in this situation because we have been very consistent throughout the whole season. Even with all the injuries that we had, the players that come in did the job, and the young players that contributed, and obviously we're in a good position. I think anyone in the start of the season would have never thought that we are competing for at least for the title. But listen, I don't care what everyone says in the start of the season. We are here now, and we all have to, do much better. And it sounds pretty simple, but it starts with the fight and starts with, the will to win your challenges and be confident in scoring a goal. And that's why we've been lacking a little bit. And it's a combination of a lot of things that not falling in its place. And obviously, last game, I think. The Fulham game was still a good improvement, but today, in so many ways, it's and I don't even want to speak about the ref because that's not an excuse. We have to do much better.
You were just outfought there, weren't you, tonight?
Sorry?
Just outfought there tonight.
Yeah, unnecessary, because obviously these games especially is always a big fight, and something that we shouldn't have lost, in my opinion, but we did. And now we have to pick ourselves up and be ready for early kickoff on Saturday again.
Very lastly, you mentioned the title and the challenge that you're in. Do you consider yourself still to be in it?
Well, if we play like today, then we have no chance to consider ourselves in the title race, and we have to just focus on the next game, and that will be a tough one anyway again, and then we'll see.
Thank you for your time, Bert.
Thank you very much.
Brutally honest, Michael. What do you make of what he was saying there? I mean, he didn't pull any punches, did he? You need to look in the mirror. Did they want it enough, he's saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any Liverpool fan can ever look at their team for the last few years and question their desire, their dedication, their will to win.
But he's hinting Everton wanted it more tonight, isn't he?
He might be, but I mean, there's two teams on the park there. You know, it's not a divine right that Liverpool go on the pitch and win. I mean, Everton wanted it too. They had an awful lot to play for too. I wouldn't necessarily say that they just out-battled them. I think that would be quite disrespectful for Everton. I mean, they took their chances. Liverpool missed chances. Liverpool created. They didn't play awfully, bad Liverpool. But, we all know that at the top end, the fine margins of scoring goals and, when you're on top, you've got to score. When you're getting the chances that Liverpool had to, you've got to score. You can't keep teams out all the time and, keep clean sheets. Liverpool play an attacking way to outscore a lot of teams. Everton don't. Everton rely on, keep clean sheet, can we nick a goal? Their record suggests that. Liverpool's is quite the opposite. They take a few punches. They know they're going to take a few, concede a few goals, but it's worth that to play as expansive and as attacking that they do. But the problem is when you're misfiring, it looks awful, and you've got a real chance of losing, because if you can't convert your chances, then Liverpool aren't going to be a team that go through a run of 5 games on the spin, not conceding a goal. So that's the problem. They're just not scoring goals, and it has been a problem for some weeks now.
Just getting back to what Virgil van Dijk was saying, do you feel Everton showed more fight than Liverpool tonight?
I think you show fight in different ways. I think Everton's strengths were physical, and Everton's strengths was their athleticism. And I think Everton ran more than Liverpool. I thought, when you say outfought, I thought the 50-50 challenges, Everton probably dominated in those areas. But that's not Liverpool's strength. Liverpool's strength is to pass it and to move it and to get into spaces. And that's where Liverpool would end up being successful. But what I would say is Liverpool's midfield now is different from when it was, say, Henderson, Wijnaldum and Fabinho that could compete physically with any team. I wouldn't say McAllister, Curtis Jones are the type that Szoboszlai can really out-muscle people and, go physically toe-to-toe with people. So it's a new look Liverpool midfield. If it came down to winning 50-50 balls, I'd expect Everton's midfield to win that battle all night long. So it was about what you make the game into. Everton made it into a game that suited Everton's midfield. Liverpool maybe didn't make it enough about them. So winning and losing battles on a football pitch can look completely different and come in all different formats. Everton made the game suit them tonight, and that's why they won the game.
OK, that is the Liverpool captain. This, for the final time in a Merseyside derby, is the Liverpool manager, Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen, can you sum up your emotions right now after that?
No, not really. I'm obviously very disappointed about a lot of things. We let it happen, that it became exactly the game Everton wanted. 2 goals from set pieces, even when the first one was a flipper, whatever thing. But was after a set piece. There they are really strong. Then we created a lot and didn't score. I think that would have been possible in the first half. And in second half, emotions, we're in a rush, not really clear enough. Then you concede the second goal with a routine they do the whole season. We knew exactly the ball will end up there. We just didn't defend it well enough. So second goal, and then I'm just in a rush, and Everton got everything in their direction, but they're fine. It's just they had free kick after free kick. We had the ball, they got the free kicks. That's one part of the story as well. But we were not good enough. That's what we have to admit, absolutely.
There seem to be a lot of mistakes out there from your team, and you've spoken this season about not recognising some performances. With the emotion intensity that goes into a Merseyside derby, was that a performance that you didn't think was going to happen?
Oh no, of course not. I didn't expect that today, but it happened anyway. So obviously it's not the greatest moment we are in, and we still have to play football games. So you have to fight through. You have to use your moments to build, to get the momentum back if you want. We had a bit of that after the Fulham game, but then it started with the two strikers in a good moment. One is injured, the other one hopefully is now a father, and that's not helpful. It means we cannot really change up front. So from a specific moment on how we put them under pressure was exactly the way we should have done it pretty much all the time. Is that possible all the time? I don't know. But it's just that the game was always interrupted by free kicks for them, and from wherever it goes long, and it's tricky to defend. They really throw everything into these situations, and we couldn't deal with that.
Talking to Virgil van Dijk, it was I asked him in the end, did you just simply run out of ideas?
Well, that's how it is. It's not the first time in a football game. What can you do? You don't play your best football when you're 2-0 down against a passionate, fighting opponent. That's we tried a little bit here and there, but it was really not easy. I thought Harvey came on and had an impact directly that got a bit lesser than again with a few moments later. But it's. I said we tried, but in the end it's not good enough. So there's nothing you can explain. If you win, you have 500 reasons, and when you lose, it was just not good enough. That's how it is, and it's for what reason? The goals, because we're set pieces, is a part of the game, obviously, but besides that, has nothing to do with the game and the ball is around. We all know there were the situations when we pretty much shot at Pickford that in these situations, or kicked the ball over the goal and stuff like this. So there were good moments to turn the game around, but when you don't use them, that then makes it really tricky.
I know you always stick together and you always believe in each other, and you've always said in this period that you're in that you will see what happens at the end of the season. Do you consider yourself still to be in the challenge for the title right now?
That must happen a lot. I must say, and they must come in a very bad moment. Arsenal and City, that didn't look yesterday like that. No, I don't know. I can only apologize for today to the people. Everybody who's with us knows how hard it is for us as well, but I know it's for the people especially hard. So we should have done better. We didn't, and that's why we lost.
Thank you for your time, Jürgen.
You're welcome.
That's as low as we've seen him for a while, isn't it?
It's as low as I've felt for a while, as low as every Liverpool fan, I think. It's quite painful. You get so excited by the season. About a month ago, I was thinking, could Liverpool win all four? They've got one. Already, they won the first one of the season with the Carabao Cup. They had a chance in the league, obviously. They were still in the FA Cup. Europe was looking really good. Reasonably favourable draw. And all of a sudden, it just feels like in a couple of weeks, it's all just gone. And it's quite hard to take. I'm sure, as I say, Liverpool fans around the world that are, feeling a bit drained at this moment. And he does. I mean, it must be awful for him. You've got to go to bed tonight thinking, have we got anything to play for now? There's going to be a long old month or 4 or 5 games to go. They'll keep fighting, no question about it, but it's looking like it's a forlorn hope now, which is deeply frustrating considering all that they had to play for. So, it's knocked the wind out of his sails. It's not the way he wanted his tenure to end. However, that's what they're facing. They can do nothing else now but shake themselves off, dust herself down and try to win the remaining games.
In terms of the Premier League, though, Michael, that's 2 defeats in 3. They'd lost 2 of the previous 42. What's happened in that short period to suddenly derail Liverpool? I've
not seen a team lack confidence or lack ability. In fact, you know what? Sometimes you talk about, I don't think Liverpool have got great finishers. I genuinely don't think they've got great finishers in their team. They've always scored lots of goals, but I've never really thought they've got amazing finishers. I think Jota's probably the best finisher they've got. And of course, he comes, he plays, he scores, and then he's injured, which is a shame. But I've never seen a team, or rarely seen a team, almost lose all confidence or belief or ability or whatever it might be in front of goal. And it's happened for quite a long time now. Yes, they scored 3 against Fulham, but they've been missing so many chances lately. And it's just decision-making. It's just calmness in front of goal. I mean, I don't blame Liverpool for this one. I think the ball was just majestic from Trent Alexander-Arnold. That was brilliant from Mo Salah. Can do no more. Puts it into a dangerous area. No problem with that at all. I mean, this is just not defend. I cannot defend that in any way, shape or form. For a player that shows in fits and starts that he can finish sometimes, to go from one extreme to another and just to be 6-7 yards out and blast it straight down the middle when you've got a massive wide open side of the goal, that's just not good enough. This is, okay, difficult, concentrate. Awful touch. Awful miss kick going wide. Awful miss kick over the top. I mean, three bits of play there that you just don't see world-class players doing. So, I mean, it's so frustrating for Liverpool fans, for me sat here. I mean, even that gets a ooh from the crowd, don't get me wrong. But the technique's all wrong. You can't strike a straight ball there. That's a curled shot. You have to hit it right to left. You watch 100 people hit that shot, it will always be a right to left curl. You can't just hit it straight. And it hits the post, and as I say, it'll get an ooh from the crowd and people will be off their seats, but it's just the wrong finish. Again, an attempt for outside the box, no problems with that one, but fundamental, basic things in front of goal, when you've got players of that standard that have proven they're good, to be doing that is pretty poor. And, I mean, Leon, this probably...
I mean, 186 attempts in the last 8 matches, and they've scored just 12 goals, Leon.
Yeah, I mean... I think if I've heard right from the commentary tonight, they've only failed to score 3 times this season, 2 times in the last 2 or 3 games, which shows that it's come at the wrong time. We said it earlier in the season that Liverpool have got an incredible front 5 and they could fire them to the title because they can rotate them. Whoever's in form, they'll keep going. Because their midfield was in transition. I still think it is. I still don't think it's the midfield that maybe is the finished article, but their firepower at the top end of the field was going to keep them in games and win games and keep them in the title race. And he's only got 3 of them tonight, and it's probably the 3 that are out of form. The 3 that over the course of the season, every striker, every player will have a moment where they're playing outstandingly well, and they'll have a dip in front of goal, lack of confidence, just things aren't falling into place. Dominic Calvert-Lewin certainly had one during this season. At the moment, Mo Salah, I think that's 7 games now without a goal. I think you look at Núñez, you never quite know what you're going to get from him. Jota is the person scoring, picks up an inch. So I think Jurgen Klopp will feel that things have just fallen against him at the crucial time, which is this run-in at the end of the season.
I just struggle to... I mean, the one that's just made my brain explode tonight is the Núñez finish. I just cannot get my head around somebody that... Only a few weeks ago, we watched him running through against Brentford and he chipped the goalkeeper. And I just couldn't believe my eyes as to how audacious, how classy, how good a finish. But I said at the time it's the wrong thing to do. And if he's thinking like that in front of goal, then God knows what he's thinking in general. And this just goes to prove, when you're in this situation, the goalkeeper's at the front post, look at the size of the goal here to the right. You've got, I cannot just get my head around how you can finish like that one, even though I thought it was the wrong type of finish, and I said so back then.
You did, yeah.
Even though it's the wrong thing, how can you be so calm and so calculated and so confident in one of the most difficult finishes known to man? That was impossible, virtually, what he did. And then you get in a simple situation here, and you just put your head down, you just blast it right down the middle when it's just... I just cannot fathom.
If you show it again on one of the other angles as well, as he's running through on goal, he actually takes the ball into a really nice position and he picks his head up. There's a moment in there where he's got the calmness and actually the composure to have took my touch. I know where the ball is. I think you see it better from behind the goal. You see from this angle, if you were to just... You stop it. Now, there's his little look. And now he's got near post, he's got far post.
Look at
and he can pass it and he goes down the middle. If you see from this angle now, just as the ball comes through, I mean, because this is what's difficult. Sometimes strikers will run through a goal and they don't know where the goal is, but you just see there, he just picks his head up and looks. He sees where the keeper is. He knows where he is. He knows where the goal is. He's already picked his head up. So I can understand someone who had Michael's quality in front of goal. To him, that was bread and butter. They were the chances he'd score. 9.5 times out of 10, I can understand his frustration.
It is frustrating, but it's not because what I would... He can do things that I can't do. It's not because I could do that and he can't. It's more to the point that I've seen him... Remember when he came on against Newcastle? Yeah. And he went bang, far corner, bang again, far corner. Attempted to hit it.
So it's in the locker?
It's in the locker. And he's shown it not just, from a physical point of view. Mentally, he's gone through and been cool as a cucumber lots of times. I go back to that Brentford finish. It literally fell off my stool watching it. It was like, wow, what have I just seen? How can you have that composure? It's like that extreme. And then he's gone to this extreme where how can that happen in the space of a few weeks? Is it confidence? I don't know. But when you try different things or do different things or think in a different way in front of goal, I can't explain what he's thinking. But
when you're going for the title or trophies, a Liverpool centre-forward in his last 9 games at this stage of the season has scored once against Sheffield United.
And the chances are there. We just looked at that graphic before. Liverpool create more chances than any team in the league. I don't think they're that efficient. Obviously, they're not that efficient in the last few games. I don't think, in general, they're the best collective group of finishers in the league. However, they create that many chances that have always scored lots of goals. So you get by with it. It's fine. Keep creating and you'll score your fair share. But when it dries up, then you have to start questioning the quality of finishing and the mentality of people going through on goal as well.
It was a really good save, though. From an Everton from an Everton point of view, it's a really good save.
Don't make him feel any worse. We've seen this graphic lots of times in the last few weeks in this 3-horse race for the title. Who they've got left to play, we're striking them off. Are we now saying, Michael, it's a 2-horse race?
I think
are we even looking at Liverpool's fixtures? Or
I mean, points-wise, they're only 3 points behind, same games as Arsenal, so you can't say never. But look at the goal difference, 15 goals. They're never going to gain 15 goals on Arsenal. So realistically, you can say that's a 4-point difference.
They've got to play 2 of the top 5.
Yeah, and are Arsenal going to drop 4 points? Potentially, but Man City aren't going to drop, that many points as well. So I can't see it. Liverpool tonight have gone to, absolute small chance. It looks like it's
rank outsiders.
Yeah.
Where's your charity bet?
Charity bet? Oof. I don't think that the charity bet would be Liverpool because they need both City and Arsenal, I think, to drop points in 2 games each.
No, I mean, if you were looking to win some money for a charity, you wouldn't back Liverpool, Ozzy. Come on.
I got Arsenal. Yeah, I think everyone will expect Man City. I think the short price would be on Manchester City. I think Arsenal have got a chance in this. I do, at this stage. I didn't expect them to get here, but you look at how strong they are at this stage. They're beating teams 5 and 6 every week. They're going to Man City, getting the result that they want. They had a slip-up against Aston Villa, which came at obviously the wrong time, but I think they're still in this. I really do.
OK. And, of course, Mikel Arteta will have really enjoyed that performance from his former club, Everton. Well, all the Evertonians inside that stadium will tell people in years to come, I was there. It was the I was there moment after 13 and a half years where Everton finally won a home derby against Liverpool. And it was the first home derby under their manager, Sean Dyche, who got his plan together and it came off brilliantly. And here is his reaction.
Sean, there's an awful lot of people who follow Everton Football Club, who work for Everton Football Club, who haven't been here to see Everton beat Liverpool at Goodison Park, because it's been a long time since it happened. Your first taste of a home derby, I'm guessing you pretty much enjoyed that.
Well, you enjoy the outcome. Tricky game against top opposition, we know that. But to give the people that, I think it's pleasing for all of us. You know what it's like, the news changes quickly. A few weeks ago, people were saying, do they care? They care. We care. There's no two ways about that. And I think we've made that clear as a collective.
It was a massive performance. You caused them Problems from set pieces. You barely lost a header in either box, attacking or defending. They found you very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, another clean sheet as well. Some plays that. A couple of really big saves from Jordan. We get a little bit lucky with the one that hits the inside of the post, but we've created enough chances as well ourselves. The energy of the side, the commitment to the cause, the shape are all in place, and they have to be against some of these sides, and we're now open they play. And I thought the general performance was very, very good, and the reward is a big result against the local rivals. And I said it's a game for the people. I don't understand the depth of these derbies because I'm not from here, but I'm learning quickly about what it's like here, and I think that one is one for the people and certainly for the Evertonians without a shadow of a doubt. And the Toffees, I asked them to rise, and they are doing. The voice was incredible, the noise was incredible, the reaction to the performance was incredible, so we're very, very, very pleased with that.
There is something special about Goodison Park on these occasions. It's a unique kind of bedlam, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, and they've been brilliant, because obviously we got heavily questioned after the recent result at Chelsea, rightly so. We all had our hands up, but I think all I asked for was to keep the nose pointing in the right direction, all of us, and they have done. They stood by us on Sunday, and we rewarded that with a good performance and a win, and they've stood by us again tonight and made it such an awkward place for the Liverpool to come tonight, and then the team have performed as well. So that mixture, that connection that I've been endlessly trying to get here, it's a long journey here. There's a lot of work to be done, and there still is, but that's a very pleasing moment amongst the recent times and the ups and downs of what we do here.
Yeah, he isn't from Merseyside, but he is learning quickly, and he will see from the reaction of those scenes exactly what he's delivered and what it means to those Evertonians tonight.
Yeah, I actually think he's been a bit harsh on himself there because, this is his first experience of the Merseyside derby at home. But he's got the football club pretty much from the first moment he walked through the door. I think he understands what is necessary to get results, what the Evertonians want to see at times. Yes, they want to see more action, they want to see more quality, they want to see more at both ends of the field, but they're also fans that understand we've limited in what we've got, and he's the way he's gone about the job, what he's asked of the team to work and fight first and foremost, I think he's been appreciated in what he's done, because it's by no means been an easy job for him on and off the field. It's been a very difficult time. So yes, this was a brilliant moment, probably the highlight of his Everton managerial career so far, winning this game that has been unheard of for so many years. But I think he's been doing a brilliant job, and I actually think he is getting the club. He does get the club.
Mm. And in terms of, we're talking about the quick change around in Liverpool's fortunes. I mean, he said, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we didn't know what we were doing, we didn't care. They were the headlines. 9 points from 12 later, and they're suddenly 8 clear of the relegation zone. Yeah,
it's been brilliant from an Everton point of view. They haven't got up many places in the league, but certainly they've created a huge gap now from themselves to the bottom 3. Their fixtures were quite favourable in many ways. They had a lot of teams that they were playing that were in and around them. Then they had 1 or 2 really difficult games that you think, right, well, they're not going to get anything from there. Chelsea away was a tough one. Liverpool, you expected nothing from, but then, of course, they've got a surprise result tonight. And then a few games against teams around the bottom. Of course, we mentioned Nottingham Forest just before when they won that one. So, and their running isn't the hardest either. So, I mean, they're obviously not mathematically, but they're absolutely safe now, Everton. It looks like it's going to be, one of Forest, Luton, or 2 of Forest, Luton or Burnley to go down now. But big pressure lifted from Everton. With all the things going on in the background, the points deductions, the new stadium that they're going to move into, they really do need to be a Premier League club. Otherwise, it could be quite catastrophic for that club. So, it's nice to see them breathing a sigh of relief, even though it's at the expense of Liverpool.
And let's have a look at the goals that did it again, because Jarrad Branthwaite's making a name for himself. As you said, it wasn't pretty, but 50 games in an Everton shirt and a first derby goal.
Well, he's been outstanding. It's the reward for everything he's managed to achieve in his short time at Everton. I thought he was brilliant defensively today. I really did. But as was mentioned, Everton delivery was very good all night long. They made first contact on pretty much every free kick at both ends of the field. And generally they won second contact too. On this one, they keep it alive. And in this moment, of course, you get a little bit of luck. First of all, that Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't back where you'd probably expect him to be. Then the fact that the ball ricochets around like it does. But yeah, it was a good finish, just a moment of composure. just at the right time from him. And I was even pleased to see Dominic flying in just to make sure he got over the line as well, like a good striker should do. So I thought Everton deserved to be ahead at that point. I thought it was a very good start to the game.
And you felt Liverpool didn't cover themselves in glory there?
No, they didn't. There was lots of rebounds, ricochets, opportunities to clear, player out of position in Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, yeah, I think Liverpool could have avoided it, no question about it. But that's the type of goal that Everton are good at, you know, and it's not a criticism at all. Keeping the pressure on, you know, the ball goes in the box, test their mettle, you know, win the second balls. If the ball comes out, get it back in there and hope for a little a bounce of the ball. And that's what happened. And, you know, it was, one or two mistakes from Liverpool, but Everton need a pat on the back for that.
And that was their 16th goal from a set play. And there was a time for a 17th. Jurgen Klopp was honest enough to say, we knew this was coming, we just didn't deal with it.
Yeah, he was, because this is a set piece that Everton used in the very first game under Sean Dyche at home to Arsenal. It got them a very important 1-0 victory on that occasion, and it is a carbon copy. I think the players are in a different position. It's Dominic Calvert-Lewin attacking it this time rather than Tarkowski. But what is happening is very, very similar. Blocking Virgil van Dijk. They know they play zonal defence in that area. You get Dominic Calvert-Lewin up against Trent Alexander-Arnold and it's a complete mismatch. One is desperate to go and win the ball. One doesn't quite get off his feet in attempting it. And it was great to see him get that finish. Here it is. That's first goal under Sean Dyche's managerial career. Very similar. It's something he did at Burnley. It's something he's done the last season and all this season. It's a set piece Everton used time and time again. And Jurgen Klopp was very honest in his assessment that they knew it was coming, but they couldn't do anything to stop it.
It was good, wasn't it? You know, to be fair, people can look at it and think, oh, is that a little bit... Is it a foul? Is it not a foul? But I think both players that were blocking Virgil van Dijk actually didn't do enough to foul. It was sort of a little nudge, and then he backed away, and the next one gave him a little nudge, and it was clever. You know, these teams work on those. The delivery was absolutely spot on. They isolated the best header of the ball in the Liverpool team, Virgil van Dijk, took him out the game with a couple of blocks, and as Leon said, mismatch at the back post. Trent Alexander-Arnold is never going to win a header against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So it's something we've seen before and possibly that we'll see again. And Jurgen Klopp will be kicking himself that they didn't defend it properly. First
time in 2 years Liverpool conceded twice from a set play in a game in the Premier League. So can you relax now, all these nerves we've had with you for 8 or 9 months? Can you sort of go home tonight and say
I'm hoping
that is Everton safe?
You never say never, but it's a brilliant position. Hopefully you won't get the same antics we saw this last game of the season in here when I was a bag of nerves, because it's been a good run. Everton have been very streaky this year. They can put 3 or 4 games together where they pick up lots of points and everyone thinks everything's going great, and then they can have a 13 game without a win run. But it's great to see at this stage of the season, when it is important, that they can pull 3 wins out of 4 at a vital time.
Now, aside from Liverpool's missed chances, when we saw Manchester United score with Harry Maguire tonight, that was a Premier League record because that was the 1,085th goal that we've seen this season, and that has broken a record in a 20-game season already. We're up to 1,092 after all of tonight's games, with 45 games still to play this season in this brilliant league of ours.
Yeah, we were sort of halfway through the season and we're thinking, wow, there's so many goals going in. This must be a record. And obviously looked at the numbers and, yeah, it's always been tracking ahead of schedule, let's say. So, with so many games still to play, of course, there's only 4 or 5 games for each team, but that's the equivalent of obviously 40, 50 games still to be played. And to have broken the record already, it just shows you, we've had a great season. There's still plenty of twists and turns, but there's relegation still up in the air, Champions League football, European football, and of course a Premier League title race. And amongst all of those things, we've just had so many goals and talking points throughout the season. So it's not over yet, but it's been fun so far.
No, and you're going to remember 2 very special goals tonight. Enjoy it, milk it. You are no longer the last person to win a Goodison Merseyside derby. Big dent for Liverpool tonight, despair in Jurgen Klopp's last derby. But Everton celebrations we could see. And Leon's going to continue them. From 3 of us, we'll see you soon.
Thoughts on Liverpool's chance of winning the Premier League title? Although Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace in the league and Atalanta in the Europa League, they came back to win this match. This shows their character to bounce back from a disappointing set of games. Much like Arsenal did, they are very much back in the title race. Although Arsenal are ahead of them in the top with same points but better goal difference, they are the ones who have won the competition in recent years. This advantage is nothing to be ashamed of. And if Manchester City are to slip up, they are very much capable of pouncing on the opportunity. The comeback from injury of their star players Diogo Jota and Trent Alexander-Arnold gave them a huge boost. It is plain to see in this match as they contribute a goal each. With the last 5 games in the league, Liverpool seems to finally have pretty much their full strength. Remains to be seen whether they will be able to overcome the challenge of Man City and Arsenal. It would indeed be a fitting send-off for their manager Jurgen Klopp if they were to lift the trophy this season.